Here's the truth, guys. The 9 to 5 job is dying, and a lot of people aren't sad about it. How many of your friends or family members actually want to spend 40 plus hours a week in an office, commuting in traffic, and waiting for permission to take a vacation day? Here's the real kicker. People aren't just rejecting 9 to 5 jobs because they're lazy. They're rejecting them because the system is broken. Salaries are not keeping up with rent, companies aren't loyal to their workers, and new opportunities online are showing us that you don't need to be chained to a desk to make a good living. So in this video, we're going to break down exactly why no one wants to work a 9 to 5 anymore, the history, the problems, the rise of alternatives, and how content creators are making more than some of the highest paying professions. Stick around, because if you ever dreamed about quitting your job, this will explain why you feel that way. Here's a little history lesson for you guys. The 9 to 5 workday was invented in the early 1900s by Henry Ford. He introduced it to reduce 12-hour shifts in factories and make life better for workers. And for decades, it was considered the dream, right? A steady paycheck, pension, affordable housing. You could raise a family and retire at 60. But that was back in the day. And let's be real, that world doesn't exist anymore. Today, wages haven't kept up with inflation. Housing prices are out of control, as you guys know. And retirement feels like a distant fantasy for a lot of people. What used to be a sign of stability now just feels like a big trap. So why is everyone turning against the 9 to 5? Let's break it down. First, we got wages versus cost of living. A full-time job used to guarantee financial security, but now even people with 2 jobs can barely afford rent in big cities. My dad worked 2 jobs full-time for the majority of my teens, and we just barely scraped by. And I love my dad, I respect what he did, but it just showed me the example that working harder doesn't always mean getting ahead. Burnout is the norm now, guys. It's never really 9 to 5 anymore. It's 9 to 7. Add in a commute, and oh, don't forget the emails your boss expects you to answer by 10 p.m. People are exhausted, and it feels like life is just slipping away. And I do feel like that at times working in corporate America. Don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful to have the opportunity I do. I'm 29 years old. I make a 6-figure salary living in the Midwest. So to a lot of people's standards, I've made it. No loyalty. Companies lay people off with no hesitation. That old advice about stay at one company for 30 years and they'll take care of you, that doesn't really exist. If a business can cut costs by outsourcing your role, they will. And trust me, they will, because I have seen it happen and I have experienced it myself. Lack of flexibility. We live in a digital era where you can literally work from your laptop anywhere in the world, but many companies still force employees to sit in a cubicle just because that's how it's always been done. It just feels outdated. And here's the big one, guys. The internet has changed everything. And what do I mean by that? Today, people have more options than ever. So we have remote work. There's, millions of people were affected during the pandemic and realized they could do their jobs perfectly from home. Why go back to traffic, office politics, and bad coffee? Jeez, man, that bad coffee sucks. When you can literally work in your sweatpants and get the same, if not even better results. We also have freelancing and gig work. Platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, DoorDash, they let people control when and how they work. Sure, it's not always stable, but it gives people freedom. And with entrepreneurship, you can always start an online store, a consulting business, or even a digital agency. Man, oh man, let's not forget content creation. Now this is the big game changer. And let's be real, you see a lot of YouTubers, TikTokers, and streamers making more than doctors, lawyers, and engineers, which is crazy. And a lot of people nowadays, they see that, people who work in, regular 9 to 5 jobs, and they just feel miserable. They question themselves like, man, how is this kid making so much money without a degree? They're way younger than me, and I went through college. I have my profession. I have been doing this for 10, 20, 30 years, and I don't even make a fraction of what these kids are getting paid. Yeah, content creation is just crazy. Dude, imagine explaining this to somebody like 30, 40, 50 years ago, that eventually a teenager with a camera and with internet was going to out-earn someone who spends 10 years in school and racked up in student loan debt. That's not a fantasy now, guys. That's just reality. When young people see creators earning 6 or even 7 figures, doing something that they enjoy, why would they want to clock in into a desk for 40 plus years just to maybe retire? Some people just like structure. And some jobs like healthcare or education will always need a set schedule. Millennials and Gen Z especially value time and freedom over just having a paycheck. You see all these videos on TikTok, people quitting their jobs or starting their own businesses. And a lot of them, like I said, they're millennials and Gen Z. They would rather earn less with flexibility than earn more in a soul-crushing job. And companies are starting to notice. Businesses that offer flexible hours, remote options, or a focus on results over hours are winning the talent war. At the same time, technology just keeps creating new ways to make money. Ways that are more scalable, more creative, and more rewarding than sitting at a desk all day. So here's the truth, guys. People aren't running from work. They're just running away from a system that doesn't make sense anymore. A 9-to-5 served its purpose in the past, but today it feels like a cage for a lot of people. And the rise of alternatives like remote work, freelancing, and yes, even content creation is showing us that you don't have to follow the old path to be successful. I mean, there's creators and there's a bunch of examples around you that you see every single day, whether you're on social media or not. Just watching YouTube, even on TV, man, these YouTube kids, they're starting to make TV shows now and it's just rocking everything. But I want to know what you guys think. Are you guys currently in a 9-to-5 and trying to work your way out of it? Or do you think the future belongs to the people who carve their own path? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, you make sure you hit that like button right in the booty, subscribe for more content like this, and share it with someone who's been dreaming of leaving their 9-to-5. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!